Okay, so today's session will be on DAX functions. DAX function means dynamic analysis expressions. So this dynamic analysis expressions are actually similar to your Excel functions, but in Excel what will happen is you will be writing a formula for each cell. But in DAX functions in BI tools, so what will happen is when I'm writing a formula, it will be applied throughout the column. That is, one extra column will be created and the formula will be applied to the entire column. The next, these DAX functions actually will be divided into three different types, and that is, say we have this column, measure, and table. When I say column, that means it will actually create a new column in the existing or say the selected table. When I say measure, it will create a column, but that will not create a physical column here. But whenever I need to create the reports, I'll have that column and I can drag and I can get the results. When I say table, a new table is created by the selected table, and that will be referred. The table which is created, the newly created table will be referred here. Right. So what we'll do is I have created three different, I have imported three different, say, tables. So I'll use these tables for creating the formulas or say DAX functions. So first what we'll do, we'll start creating this column functions, and I have some functions which is already there here. So I'll be talking about all these functions here. That is the column, measure, and table. So we'll look for this tables in the coming sessions because that is little more advanced. So what we'll do is we'll see these table functions after a few sessions. But today we'll talk about the column and the right. Now first we'll go and start creating this column and just observe here I don't have this formula bar enabled. So this formula bar will be enabled only when I start creating the formulas. Let's say I'll select this text function here so that I can work on all the text functions or say on this text columns what we have here. So I'll click on this column. When I click on this column, a new column is created. Once a new column is created here, see, a new column is created and I can write the formula here so that I'll get the result here. Fine. So once I click on this column, so I'll get the formula bar enabled, and here I can see the column which is the column name here, and after this equals will be the DAX function or say formula. Let me remove this column and say I want to combine the region and this say state. So here I'll name this say region state. So you can have space, there is no problem here in this DAX function, so you can have space in the column name. Equals, I'll be using a function called as concatenate. So this concatenate function is actually used to combine, and the parameter says text1, text2. Now when I say text1, that means I'm taking the entire column here. I should give the column name, not just the reference. So here I don't have the references like what we give in the Excel. Now I said text1, I'll say region. So when I type this region, see, I'll get this table name and the field name. I'll say text function like this, comma. The next I want to combine another column here. So that is say state. I'll say state, and I'll close the bracket. So here in DAX function, I can take only two columns or say two parameters. I'll say enter. When I say enter, the result come in the new column what I've created. See, it got concatenated with the region and the state, but I don't have the space here. If you want space here, again let me click on this. See here I don't have the option of adding one more parameter here because it says text1, text2, that's it. Now if you want to add one more, say one more parameter here, I have to go here. I have to create one. See, I'll create one more column here and I'll show you. Say new column. So one more column is created here. Now I'll use the same thing, region, state, will do the same thing, concatenate, text one will be region. Now if I give the space, see, like this, that's all I can give. Or let's say I'll give one hyphen here. So suppose if you want to add the state as well here, then what I have to do is I have to use the nested concatenate here. How? See, I'll use concatenate, then again it'll ask for text one inside this, then comma, then I'll say state, like this. So concatenate, this is one parameter. Now this is the second parameter, but within that I've used one more concatenate wherein it says state space and the state. Now if I say enter, now I'll get this hyphen. That means whenever I'm using this concatenate, I can only use column one, column two, that is parameter one, parameter two. So that will be a little complex. Suppose if you want to add multiple columns, then it will become very difficult. So the better idea, the best practice is I'll go to this new column, use and symbol, ampersand symbol, which will help me in concatenate. So I'm just showing you that there is something called as concatenate function, but still you can use the same Excel type. Say for example, I'll go here, I'll say region state 3. You go here, I'll say region ampersand, then again one more text, that is hyphen ampersand, I'll say state. Right, now I can add one more parameter also here, say city, like this. So I can keep adding like this. So instead of using this concatenate, I can use this function, say enter. Right, see, this is how you can concatenate. So this is one of the DAX functions, that is either I can use concatenate or I can use this and symbol. This example I showed so that how you can actually do the nested concatenate. Now again, suppose if you want one more text, again I have to go here, insert this concatenate, again insert this concatenate, that will be more confusing. So what you do is just go and use this concept so that it will be easy for you to combine the columns. Right, this is one thing. Next, in the text functions, let's see how to change the case. In our previous session, where we did this Power Query editor format columns, where we formatted our text columns into say lowercase, uppercase. So similarly, I can do this by functions as well. Now the question arises, I can directly go to Power Query editor and I can change the cases. So that is left to you. However you want, you can do. Suppose if you want to do it through DAX functions, yes, you can do it. Or if you want to go to your Power Query editor and there you can change the case, that also you can do it. Anything is fine. I'm just telling you both the ways so that you can use these options however you want. Let's go here. I'll try to change the cases. See, you have this uppercase and lowercase. This is very similar to your Excel. So that's why I told almost all the functions here are similar to your Excel functions only. Right, let me click on this column. Let's say I have this customer name here. I want to make it capital, that is uppercase. I just use this as function upper so that it will be easy for you to understand. Yes, space upper of, it will ask for text. Text, what is that? I'll say customer name. If you go here, see, I have this. You can select like this, close the bracket, say enter. And here I get the uppercase. Fine, the lowercase. Let's go here. I'll say new column. Then here, let's say function lower of. Then text. Text is what? That is customer name. Again, close the bracket and say enter. Now the case will be in lowercase. But here we don't have that proper case, that is capitalizing your first character of a word to capital. So you cannot do that here. So that formula is not there, which we have in our Excel, that is proper. So that function is not there in this. Fine. Next one. So we saw how to change the cases. Now we'll see how to extract the data. Now let's take this product ID. I want first 3 characters, middle 2 characters, and last, say, how many characters? 8 characters in a separate column. So what we'll do, we'll go here. We'll try to use the function left, mid, and right. We have seen in our Excel formulas also, that is left, mid, and right. Same concept is applied here also, but here we're not referring any cell, we'll be referring the columns. Right. Let's go and we'll take this table tools. Here I'll say new column. A new column is created. First we'll see left. Left of product ID, the first 3 characters. Then what I'll do, I'll go here, say function left. Here I'll say left of. When I say left of, it will ask for the text. Text is nothing but on which column I'm actually applying this function. Now I'm applying on product ID. See, you don't have to bother. See, just few characters if you type, I'll get all the details here. I'll go here, say product ID, comma, number of characters. So I have this first 3 characters. I'll say 3. Close bracket and say enter. Let's go and see whether it is coming. Let's see. First 3 characters are extracted. Next, let's say right. I want the 8 characters from right side. Say new column. Then here I'll say let's delete this. Say function right. Right of. Again, last for text, I'll say product ID, comma, number of characters. I'll mention it as 8, close bracket and say enter. See, I'll get the 8 characters from right side. Middle 2 characters I need this one. So for this I have a function that is mid. How to use this mid? I'll say new column. And then we'll say function mid. Again, mid, it asks for text. Text is the product ID, comma. It asks for starting position from where I need to extract. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Hyphen is 4 from 5th character. Say 5th position, comma. The number of characters will be 2, and I'll say enter. I'll get the 2 characters from the mid. See, I got this. This is for your left, right, and mid. Let's say I want to get the number of characters in each cell. So for that, I have len. Similarly, what I have in my Excel functions. Len will give me the number of characters of the parameter I've selected. That is, I'll go here, say function len. Let's use len of customer. Close bracket and say enter. Now I'll get the number of characters in each cell of the customer name. Next is find. Find will give me the position of the character what I'm trying to search. Let me go here, new column. So find function, find. Here I'll say find the text. What am I searching? I'm searching for space. Let's say I'm searching for space within text, that is in customer name. Starting position from where I need to search. Let's say 1. In Excel, if I'm not finding that character, it will throw error. But in DAX function here in Power BI, we have one more parameter that says not found value. If the character is not found, what should I get? I'll say 0 in this case. If you want, you can put a text also here. That is also possible. I'll close the bracket. If I'm not finding this character which I'm looking here, if it is not found, then I can give this not found value. I'll say enter. So here it will give me the position of the character what I'm looking for. So if I go here, see, I'm getting the space position. Why I've taken this length and find of customer is, I'll be showing you how to use this left and right dynamically. Now the combination of these columns what we have created. So how to use that? Let's go to this customer name here. I want the first name and the last name. In this left, I fixed it saying that left of 3 or say right of 8 or mid of something. That is fixed. What if I want to get the first name? Here say, here I have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and here somewhere it is 4, somewhere it is 3 or something. So if you want to get this dynamically, that is the first name, so I have to use this left function, but not everywhere it is same. So for that, what I'll do, I'll try to create one column. Now my requirement is to get first name and the last name. So I'll be using this function that is left and right. Let me go here and say get first name. I'll go here. I'll say left of customer name. And if I mention it as 5, let's hard code this as of now. I'll say enter and see what will happen. So it will give me 5 characters, the fixed 5 characters everywhere. Wherein this is not what I'm actually looking for. See here, somewhere it says Sam space Z because I've given it is 5 characters. Now what should I do to get it dynamically? So what we'll do is, we'll go here. Instead of this 5, I'll use this find space what you've given here. See this function find. So what this will do, it will give me the number of characters from left side here. Now when I say enter, so what will happen? So everywhere, whatever the value is there here, so that value will be passed here. Now if you go and check, see, I'll get the right result. That is because I'm referring the function find, wherein that will give me the position of till where the space is, and what I need here is from left side till the space. So I'm combining these two functions. Right. Next, I want all the values that is from right side. Find actually finds from left side always, but I need the right side characters. So what I'll do is the logic, I'll use this right. First we'll create one column, new column. And then we'll use this right, and we'll use the fixed values, say get last name. So here I'll say right of customer name, comma, it has a number of characters. I'll say 8. Just I've hard coded it. I'll say enter. Now if you go and check, I'll get 8 characters, the fixed 8 characters from right side. See, so everywhere I'm getting 8 characters, but this is not the result what I need. Let's go here and try to change this. First, I'll take this len, that is the number of characters what I found. Say for that, you have this function len minus function find. So what this will do, it will take the total number of characters from the customer name minus till this space. So the remaining number of characters will be my last name number of characters. When I say enter, I'll get the result like this. So these are some of the logics what I can use, that is for combining. I can also directly use here, say find or length or whatever. But why I'm taking like this is it will become easy for me to explain as well as for you guys to understand. Right. So we saw this, how to extract, how to find, right? Okay. Next is we have this replace, substitute. So what is replace? Replace will help me in replacing a character from the position with number of characters. Let's go and see one of the tables here. Okay. In this customer ID, I have say HM hyphen. Then next I have some code. I want to encode this. Say for example, I have this 6 numbers. I want to make this as X. So what we'll do, we'll go here, say HM hyphen 14980, this 149, whatever is there, the 3 characters of all these IDs should become X, and the last 2 numbers should be as number only. That is like you're just trying to encode it. Let's say new column, and here I'll say function replace. Again, it is similar to your say Excel replace. I'll say replace, read the parameter, that's it. So what does it says? Old text, starting position, number of characters, new text. Old text is my column, that is customer ID. Starting position, say starting position, what we are trying to replace is the 2 characters plus that hyphen, that is 3, from 4th character. From 4th character, how many characters I need to replace? It lasts for number of characters. I'll say 3. 4 is the position, 3 is the number of characters, and it asks what is the text I need to replace. I'll put in double quotes, say XXX, and I'll close this. I'll say enter. And if I scroll towards my right hand side and see, the 3 characters from 4th character has been replaced with this X. So you can use this replace for anything. But here it asks for the position, number of characters, and the character what I need to replace. Fine. Next is substitute. Substitute means other than this, other than a character. Let's go and check one of the columns. Let's take this customer ID itself, or we'll take this product ID. We have 2 hyphens here. I want this hyphens to be replaced as slash. Let's go and say new column. The product ID hyphen should get replaced with slash. It lasts for new column. Then I'll say function replace, sorry, substitute. Use this substitute. You don't have to bother, just type few characters and say substitute, say tab. It lasts for text, old text, new text, instance number. I'll explain. So text is what? The column. that is product ID. Let me take this product ID, comma. It lasts for the old text. What is that I'm actually trying to replace? That is hyphen, comma, new text. So what is the text I'm trying to replace? I'll say slash. Now I'll close the bracket and say enter. Let's go towards my right hand side. See, the hyphens have become slash. Let's go and check the formula again. Here, let me remove all this. We'll do it again. All right. We gave the text, that is the product ID. The old text we gave hyphen, and then we gave slash. But both hyphens have become slash. Now I want only the first one or the second one to be slash. I'll give it as 2, which actually gives the it will replace the hyphen the second instance. Say enter. And here you can see this, only the second hyphen has been replaced here as slash, right? So this is for substitute and replace. Fine. Next one is repeat and trim. Repeat function will repeat a character the number of times I need, and trim will remove the unwanted spaces. Let's go back. Here, let's say table tools, new column. I want to repeat one character. Say function like this. The function trim. First we'll do this trim. Set trim off. So here in one of the columns which we took this, say first name, here I took this with space here. That is, when I took this find, it was actually taking this as 6 characters. So what I'll do, I'll say trim, say get first name, close bracket, say enter. So what will happen is if you have any unwanted spaces here, it will just trim that value. So it will just remove the unwanted spaces. That's it. Now repeat function. Let's go here. It's a column. The repeat function, if you see this, repeat, it lasts for text. Let's say X, and I'll say 10 times and say enter. So this will repeat. Say 10 times. I can concatenate this with any numbers or anything, but if you want to repeat any characters the number of times, you'll just try to repeat it. Okay. These are some of the text functions, and I have put across all the functions what you can practice, and I use the same examples whatever is given here so that it will be easy for you to understand. Fine. Next we'll go and see the date functions. So what I've done, I've created one more table here so that it will be easy for you to work on the date functions. I've just taken only 2 dates here. Date functions are actually used to work on the dates. Now I have a date here. I want to extract the day, month, and year. Let's go to this. I'll say new column. And I'll say function day. I'll say day of. So these functions will work only on the date. Say day of order date. Close bracket. Say enter. So if you see, I'll get the day here. See, the day of this order date. Now I want the month. Column. Say function month. So here I'll say month of order date. Close bracket. Say enter. So I'll get the month. That is the serial number. So let's say new column. I want the year. Say function year. Say year of order date. Close bracket, enter. So I'll get the year. So if you want to separate, say day, month, and year, I can use this day, month, and year functions. That is this one. Now suppose if I'm getting the date in this format itself, day, month, and year, I want to combine this and convert this into date. So in that case, I'll go here, I'll say new column. And then I'll use this function date. So date of. Now the parameter will be year, month, and day. So what I've done is I've created 3 different columns for day, month, and year. I'll use the same column. I'll say function year, comma, function month, comma, say day. Close bracket, and I'll say enter. If I have the dates, say day, month, and year in a separate column, I can use date function and I can combine this here. See, I got the day, month, and year. Forget about this format. That when you come to this format formulas, I'll just explain how to format this as well. Right, so we got this day, month, and year. Sometimes without these functions also I can get the day, month, or year. How to do that I'll show you. Click on this column. I'll get a new column. I'll just say get day. Now I don't have to create any function. Just say order date. Now it will ask for day, month, year, whatever. Let me select this day. Just say dot day. I'll get the day. So I'll get the same result here without using function also. I can also get month. So you will have month and month number. I'll show you both. Say get month, order date, See here, month and month number. If I say month number, I'll get similar to what month number I got here, the month index number. If I say month, then I'll get the month name here. Just click on this. See, I'll get the month name. Similarly, if I give month number, say get month number, I'll go here. I'll say order date dot month number. Enter. I'll get the month number here, like what I got here. Right. Next, I can get the quarter also. The quarter or quarter number. If you want to get the quarter number, I can use quarter number. If you want to get the quarter name, then I can use quarter name here. I'll just go here. I'll say get quarter number. Say order date dot, I'll say quarter number. Say enter. I'll get the number here. Right, this is the quarter number. So this date falls on which quarter? That is from January to December is what the quarter actually calculates here. From January to March, 1 quarter, April to June, 1 quarter, July to September, 1 quarter, and October to December, 1 quarter. So based on that, I'll get the quarter number here. Suppose if you want to get the quarter name is nothing but it will use just say quarter 4, quarter 2, like that. So it will just mention the name, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So if you want to get with the name, then I can use this quarter. Say I'll go here. Say get quarter name. I'll go here. I'll say order date dot quarter. Say enter. See, I'll get the quarter name, that is in text. I'll say quarter 4, quarter 1, quarter 3, whatever. If you want to get the year, like what we got here, for that also I can directly use this. Let's say function, say get year, and I'll say year of order date, close bracket. See, I'll get this here. Fine, this is to extract the day, month, or year, or get name or quarter number. Now suppose if you want to find the difference between dates, they have this order date and ship date. I want to get the difference between these two dates. The difference can be like this. I can either find the difference between two dates in days, month, or year. Let's go here and see how it works. When I say new column, we have a function called as date diff. So what this date diff will do is it will find the difference between two dates, that is starting date and the ending date. say function date diff. I'll say date diff. It lasts for date one. That is, I'll say order date, comma. Then we have the ship date. I'll say ship date. Now it asks, say, comma, interval. So interval is whether I need the difference between days, hour, minute, quarter, second, or say week or year. Now let's say I'll go year and I'll say day. I want the result in number of days. Say enter. And I'll get the number of days here. See, check from 8th November to 11th November, there are 3 days. So I'll get this 3 days, or 4 days, or 7 days, or whatever. That is the difference between two dates. Right. Next, date add. When I say date add, so I can add any number of days to a date, but make sure that the date is in a proper date format. Let's go here. I'll say function date add. Now here I'll say date add. It lasts for the date. I'll say order date, comma. It lasts for number of in sorry, number of intervals. Number of intervals means for this date. So how many days, how many months, how many years I need to add? That is number of intervals. Let's say I'll add 10 days. It lasts for interval type. I'll say day. Close bracket. So first is the date, then number of intervals. Number of intervals is nothing but how many days or months or year I should add. Then I'm saying this interval. It says day. I'll say enter. When I say enter, 10 days will be added to all the dates here. So let's go and check this. See, if I say 8th November, there's 10 dates which is added. Scroll down and see. See, dates will be added. I told you the date should be in a proper date format. And sometimes what will happen is I'll get this blanks because it is not in a proper date format. So we have to check the date function. So say date year, then we can see. But date add will add the number of days what we are actually specifying. Right. Next is today and now. So today means it will give me the current date. Now will give me the current time. Okay. Let's go and check this. Say column right here. I'll say function and then we'll say today. Today, open bracket, close bracket, and say enter. It will give me today's date. See, it will give me today's date here. Now let me go here and I want the current time, that is now. Since the columns are getting added, it is becoming a little slow. So please bear with this. I'll say function and say now. So what now will do, it will give me the current time. Say now, open bracket, close bracket, almost similar to your Excel functions. See, it will give me the current time. So this date can be removed by using this formats, right? Next is EO month, that is end of month. So what this end of month will do is, for any selected date, so what it will do is, it will give me the last date of the selected date. Weekday will give me the week day, that is Sunday to Saturday, the week numbers. Week num will give me the number throughout the year, so that date falls on which week. So let's go and check this. Let's say new column, and then say function EO month. So here I'll say EO month. Then it asks for start date. I'll say order date, comma. It asks for number of months. So number of months, I'll just say 0. That is for the selected month only. It will give me the last date of the selected month here. See, it will give me the last date. So there we have this November 8th. So here it will show me 30th November or whatever, whichever month it is there, it will just give me the last date of the month, right? The next week num, weekday and week num. So weekday will give me the serial number of that particular week, and weekday, the weekday will give me the serial number of that particular week, and week num will give me the week number of that particular year. Say function weekday, I'll say weekday. It lasts for the day, I'll say order date, close bracket, and I'll say enter. So it will give me the serial number, that is whether it is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So based on that, I'll get the serial number. Fine. Next is week num. Let's go here. I'll say week num. Say function week num. The week num will actually give me the week number throughout the year. So I'll specify the date here, so date, comma, and it lasts for whether it should begin from Monday or Sunday. So you just ignore this, close bracket, say enter. I'll get this week number. So these are some of the date functions what we have in our DAX functions, right? So we saw about the text functions, the date functions. Let's go to this number functions. And again, they are very simple ones, similar to your Excel. Let's go back to our Power BI. Now, when I say numbers, so we'll be working on these numbers. Let's say I have this abs. Abs is actually used for converting your negative number to positive number. Now let's go and check if there are any negative numbers here. Yes, there are a few negative numbers here. Now I'll say table tools, I'll say new column. I'll get a new column here, and here function abs, open bracket. Now I'll say number, I'll mention this profit. Say end. Now wherever you see that minus values, so that will become positive numbers. So all these negative values, let's say, let's take the negative values just to confirm. See, this will become positive. So whenever you feel that there is a requirement where I need to convert all my negative numbers to positive numbers, then I can use this abs, that is absolute numbers. So absolute function. Next is round, round up, and round down. This is actually used for rounding of your numbers, that is decimal numbers. Let's take this profit itself. I'll go here, say new column. First we'll work on round. Say function round. Round off. And then I'll say profit. It lasts for number of digits. I'll just say 2 digits, enter. So according to this value, it will get converted into 2 digits number, like this. All right, let's go to round up. New column. Say function round up. Round up means always rounding to the higher level. Say round up profit, comma, number of digits, I'll say 2. So you can find the difference here with round and round up. So here it says 41.91, that is 0.9136. This 3, when it is rounded, it will be still 1 only because it will come to the lower end. But when you see here, it is always rounding to the higher end, say 41.92, or if you see here 219.59. Okay, fine. Round down, it will come to the lower level, that is, go here, I'll say function round down. Function round down, say round down of profit, close bracket. I didn't mention the number of digits, so that's why it's throwing error. Say comma 2. See, it will come to the lower end, right? Okay. Now suppose if you want to convert this into even or odd, the same thing, rounding to the nearest even number or nearest odd numbers. That also I can do in DAX functions. I'll go here. New column. And here we'll say function even. So what this even will do is it will round the given number to the nearest even number. Say even profit. We take this profit itself. So it will convert the number into the nearest even number. So it says 41.9136, whatever. So the nearest even number is 42. Say 219.582, then it is 220. Now let's say for the odd numbers, the nearest odd numbers. Let's go here. It's a table tools column. say function odd. We'll go here, I'll say odd, and I'll say profit. So it'll round off to the nearest odd number. See, 41.91, it is almost going to 42. So the nearest odd number is 43. Then here 219.58 is going to 220 as an even number. Then the nearest odd number will be 221. So if you want to round off something like this, that is to nearest even or odd numbers, that also I can use. So this round, round up, round down, even or odd, will actually help in rounding off the values. So similarly, here you have the ceiling and floor. Ceiling and floor actually takes the significance to round off, say nearest 10th position, or say nearest 25th position, or say 1000th position, whatever. So you can specify to the nearest position, that is for the whole numbers, the rounding of the whole numbers, like what we see here. This also will convert that into whole number, even or odd, but this is specific, that is nearest even number or nearest odd number. But if you want to specify a number, say nearest 10th position, 25th position, or 50th position, or 100th position, then I can go for ceiling or floor. Ceiling means on top, floor means bottom. So let's go here and say function ceiling. We'll use this function ceiling. So ceiling, it will ask for number. Let's say we'll use this profit itself, comma. I want this to be rounded off to the nearest 10th position. I'll say 10 and say enter. And this 41.91, whatever is there here, it will go and it will round off to the nearest 10th position, that is 50. So 219.582, that is nearest 10th position is 220. So like that. So what it will do, it will go and it will round off to the nearest 10th position. Suppose if I give here as the significance 100 and say enter, the nearest 100th position. So here in this case it will become 100, and here it will become 300. So likewise. So you can specify your significance here, that is you can round it off to the nearest position, whatever you are giving to the higher level. Similarly, I have this floor, which will help me in rounding off to the lowest nearest value, what I'm specifying there. Let me click on this column, say function, say floor. Go here, say floor of, and then I'll say profit, and then I'll say 100, say enter. Floor is the lower value. See, the nearest, lowest 100, like this. You can specify 10, whatever value you want, you can specify. If I specify it as 10, see, the nearest 10th position, that is 41.91, it will go to 14, because that is the lower side, whichever is there, it will show me like this. So these are some of the rounding functions, that is round, round up, round down is for decimal numbers, even, odd, ceiling and floor is for whole numbers, right? Okay. Next we have something called as divide and quotient. What is divide and quotient? So divide means it will divide a value. Quotient means again it will divide, but we have a problem with quotient, that is it will throw error if the value is divided by 0. Let's go and check. First we'll see how this divide works. So let's divide a number by this discount. Let's see if I have value in discount. Okay, we have some zeros and some value. Quantity, we have values. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go here and we'll create one column. Say get value. I'm just giving one random function here. So sales divided by discount, and I'll say enter. Let's go and check. See, I'm getting some number here. Wherever it is 0, it is showing some infinite value. Right? See, these are all the numbers which are getting divided by 0. That is when I just say divide. Let's go and check with the function. I'll use this divide and quotient and then see what result we'll get. So when I use this divide, I'll go here and say function divide. Here I'll say divide. It'll say numerator. Let's take it as sales. Denominator, I'll say discount. And then if I'm getting any error value, then what is the alternate result? I'll say 0. Let's say enter and see what result we'll get. See, so instead of this infinite value, I'm just getting this 0 if there is any error. The same thing, I have this quotient. Let's go and check that as well. So functions, the possible functions, whatever functions are there, I'm just showing you. So it is left to you which function to use. I'm not telling that you have to use divide only or quotient only, or you have to use this calculation. That is completely left to each person. I'm just telling you the possible functions or what are functions available in DAX. I'm just trying to explain all the functions. Let's go here. Say function quotient. Now here I'll say quotient. It lasts for numerator and denominator. Here I'll not get the alternative values. When say numerator, I'll say same thing. So we use the sales, comma discount. Now we'll see what will happen when I'm using this quotient. See, I'm getting some error here. Let's go and check. See, I'm not getting a proper result. So what I can do in this case is division by 0 has occurred when evaluating function quotient. That means this will not allow when I have this 0 value. Let me remove this and let's try with another column. That is, we have this quantity. Now I'll say enter and see what will happen. See, I'm getting the result. But what to do when I get an error? So for that, when we come to this conditional functions, I'll explain, we have something called as if error. So we can put this if error. So when we come to this conditional function, I'll explain about this. So as of now, just think that we cannot use this, divide by 0 so that it'll throw an error. So when you come to this if condition, there is one section which is called as if conditions. When you come to this if conditions, then I'll explain about this. All right. So we'll keep this one and this if error, to our what is that if condition statement or conditional statements. Modulus. So mod means it will give me the reminder of the value what I'm trying to divide. Let's go here. The same function we have in our say Excel also. It's a mod function mod. Say mod of, let's take this sales, comma, I'll take this 2. So what we'll do, we'll try to divide this number by 2 and whatever remainder I'm getting, that is mod or modulus. See, this is the remainder. So if you go and check this, so I have this 261.96. So when I divide, so 260 is what it will get divided. The remainder will be 1.96. So that remainder I'll get here. So whenever I want a reminder of a number which I'm dividing, then I can use this mod operator. So mod means modulus, which will give me the reminder of the value what I'm trying to divide. All right. Next one, we have this power square root. So this one, if you think that you are using it, you can use it. Otherwise, I'm just showing you how this will work. This is just a mathematical calculation, that is power and square root. So column, I'll say function, then we'll say power of, it will ask for the number. Let's say we'll take this quantity only because it's a small number. We can easily check the results. Quantity, comma, I'll say power of 3, enter. The quantity of this 2, if I say power of 2 to the power of 3, then it should be 2 into 2 into 2. So that is 8. So like that, you can get this power of this function. If you want square root, you can just go here, say column. Again, I'm telling you these two functions, it is left to you how you will be utilizing it. Say function, square root, here I'll say square root of, I'll say 6. So it will give me the square root of the value what I'm specifying. See, I'll get the square root. The next we have this random numbers, that what we have in our Excel. Similarly, here I can generate some random numbers. So when you're doing some calculations, that is you want to get some dummy data, so you can use this rand and random. So rand will give me the number from 0 to 1, that is 0.00 whatever, 0 to 1, and rand between will give me these specific whole numbers like we have in Excel. Say function rand, say rand, and say enter. No parameter here, so it will just give me some decimal numbers from 0 to, see, from 0 to 1. Okay, so whenever you want to calculate some percentage or some decimal numbers, you can use this. Suppose if you want to generate a whole number, then I can use this rand between. Let's say function rand between. See, this will ask for the bottom number. Let's say I want the number from 100 to 1000. So what it will do, it will just generate a random number from 100 to 1000. Suppose if you want 1 to 100 or anything, you can specify. So bottom number and the top number, if I specify within that range, I'll get the random numbers. Random numbers can be anything. So you cannot specifically say that I'll get these numbers only. See, any numbers between, you can go here, see, from 100 to 1000.